As Benedict XVI is packing up to leave the Vatican this week, we're getting new details on how the church will handle two living popes. Meanwhile, scandal and intrigue swirling, with rumors involving sex, money, and gay priests filling the Italian media. And ABC's David Wright has the latest.
Grazie.
He's already said his last public mass at the Basilica.
Se Dio mi chiede questo, è proprio perché io possa. Grazie.
He'll never appear in that window again. Now the stage is set for one last public audience. Then the sun sets on Benedict XVI's papacy. 48 hours from now, Benedict will no longer be pope. Today we learned more details about his retirement. For instance, he'll be called Pope Emeritus, or in conversation, still, Your Holiness.
So His Holiness Benedict XVI, Pope Emeritus, or Supreme Pontiff Emeritus.
But no more Swiss guards, no fisherman's ring either. And his clothes, in retirement, he'll still get to wear white.
A simple white cassock. A very important point are the shoes. They will no longer be the red shoes that you've seen him wear, but he has chosen to keep brown shoes that were given to him on his recent trip to Mexico.
He also plans to live on the Vatican grounds in a former nunnery. No longer the Holy Father, more of a Holy Father-in-law. Already the campaign to choose his successor is as ugly as a South Carolina primary. For nearly a week now, the Italian papers have run wild with a story of a sex and blackmail scandal about to explode, speculating that Benedict really resigned because of a dossier he was given detailing the whole sordid mess. I mean, this is beginning to sound like a Dan Brown novel.
Well, the Catholic Church doesn't do dull.
Turns out a dossier does exist for the Pope's eyes only, prepared by 3 elderly investigators nicknamed by the Italian press the 007 Cardinals. They were charged with investigating the VatiLeaks scandal, where the Pope's private butler leaked confidential documents to outsiders. In December, they did give the Pope a report, but only he knows what's in it, and it's going to stay that way.
The Holy Father has decided that the acts of this investigation, known only to himself, remain solely at the disposition of the new Pope.
The Vatican is upset by all the focus on scandal.
Through the course of the centuries, cardinals have had to face many forms of pressure. Today there is an attempt to do this through public opinion.
Then, the very next day, scandal took one vote from the College of Cardinals. A British newspaper reported that 4 Scottish priests say Cardinal Keith O'Brien made unwanted sexual advances on them in the 1980s. The cardinal denies it, but says for the good of the church, he'll stay in Scotland instead of coming to Rome. Other cardinals, tainted by other scandals, have ignored that example. Among them, LA's Cardinal Roger Mahony. Church documents show that for more than a decade, he enabled priests to keep molesting children rather than report them to law enforcement. But Mahony's in Rome, excited about the vote, and blogging about how his critics are persecuting him. It's an election without a democracy. Italians say they're used to it. Even as the Pope retires, another familiar face is making a comeback here. Silvio Berlusconi is trying to form a government, back again despite all his scandals.
He should take, an example from the Pope. I mean, even the Pope resigns and Berlusconi is still there.
Here in Italy, the Pope has now become the definitive example of making a graceful exit. I'm David Wright for Nightline in Rome.